It's no secret to those who watch this channel that I am a mega fan of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, from iconic moments like "Shut up, bitch!
Shut up, bitch!" Oh my God!
To his absolutely awesome role in Fast and Furious as Hobbs. I love the guy. He's awesome. Hey, I'll even watch his morning streams where he eats breakfast and hangs out with everyone. Now, I will say, first off, I'm still awake. I haven't gone to bed at that point because I'm a maniac. But Dwayne's waking up, at like 6 a.m. to get ready, go to his workout, and do all kinds of stuff. This man's very likable, in my opinion. And this really helped him out even more so. If he couldn't get higher up on the ladder of celebrities I actually care about, and think are a genuinely good person, this helped, because he continues to hint at Superman coming back to the DCEU, especially involving Black Adam. Now, we saw quite a while back at Comic-Con, he had talked a little bit about wanting to see Superman back, but not knowing which version it would be, kind of testing the waters and being like, well, I don't know who will be playing him, and some people kind of booed and stuff, because basically a lot of people, even if they don't love the Snyderverse or the DCEU, I think most people can agree that the handling of Superman has been pretty poor. He's just kind of been gone for a long, long time, and it really makes no sense in the context of the universe when he was pretty much the cornerstone they had been building the universe around, right? That just doesn't really work. It would be like if you did Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man for a couple movies and then he was gone for 5 years. It's like, well, where did he go? I don't know. Well, he's just gone. Then, of course, we did have, I'm going to do a little minor spoiler for Peacemaker here. We did have the League, or part of the League, I should say, show up in that show, but without showing really their faces and stuff for the most part for some of them. So we do know Superman is obviously still around, the Shazam post-credit scene too, and Dwayne's been hinting at it for quite a while. Now, one of my favorite hints at this actually came the other day in a little interview promoting Black Adam, where he talked about how the goal of Black Adam was to introduce this force who is going to be one of the most unstoppable forces on the planet, right? He then takes a pause and says that pretty much, however, the most unstoppable force in the DC universe has been on the sidelines for too long.
I was also listening to the fans at the same time, where you have Black Adam. We will create Black Adam for him to be the most powerful and unstoppable force on this planet. The most powerful and unstoppable force in the entire universe has been on the sidelines for too long.
Kind of going on to talk about something else. And the interviewer very clearly, is hyped up and excited about this. And most people have interpreted this as yet another hint at Superman. Now, some people said, no, that's not. He's being very vague. He's just talking about his own character. He's hyping his own character, even though he, decided to, I would say, label it differently as like the most unstoppable force in the universe, whereas he labeled his as the most unstoppable force on the planet, right? Then he actually did an interview recently as well. This was with cinemablend.com, where he actually talked about Superman again on this press tour for Black Adam. He did say that he thinks his character is as strong as the Man of Steel, but he went on to talk more about this because he was asked just straight up if he intends to make a movie where Black Adam fights Superman. He actually answered, absolutely, that is the whole point of this, man. Thank you for asking that, and I have been saying for some time there's a new era in the DC universe that's about to begin. And what I meant by that was introducing a brand new character. It's not a sequel, not an existing IP. It was, Black Adam. 2 years ago, the world had no idea who he was. And some people have taken umbrage with this, but look, just because some people on Twitter who read comics know who Black Adam was, or the few people who actually bothered to click that on Netflix and watch the Superman Black Adam short cartoon know who he was, a lot of people didn't know who he was. The Shazam era characters and Black Adam had kind of gone by the wayside for a very long time in actual pop culture, right? They've just been in comics off and on. So to actually see those Shazam characters come back and do really well, to see Black Adam coming back and people to be hyped, is really, really cool. He went on to say, we did, but not, the rest of the mass out there, referring to who knew who Black Adam was. Introducing the JSA, introducing that new era of the DC universe, but also what I really meant by this is a new era in the DC universe is listening to the fans. Listening to the fans. And doing our best to give the fans what they want. And maybe sometime down the road, and I went through this in pro wrestling, is you can't always give them what they want, or what you want, but you'll always know that we're listening. And in this case, with what you and I are talking about, I have been listening and I've been wanting to address fans for years because I've been waiting for someone to step up and address the fans and say, hey, we hear you. So finally, after many months turned into many years, we ended up with what we ended up at. And the whole goal and intention now is to this new era, new time. Now let's build out. This is really, really exciting to me because something I've been saying about the WB properties for a long time is that they just don't care what fans think. Like, we've seen this over and over again. Fans had to borderline harass them for years just to get the Snyder Cut released. And still they wouldn't acknowledge it as canon after that. And sure, fine. Maybe there is, 30% of the people out there, let's just be generous, who didn't want the movie ever released for whatever reason and don't care about it at all and never cared, right? Fine, sure. But there's still a huge percentage of people who did and were very vocal about it, and WB just didn't care. They basically told them to fuck off for a long time. Then finally they did that, but they wouldn't acknowledge it. Then, of course, you have all this stuff with what people have wanted from their video games departments with like a Superman game and all kinds of other stuff that they ignored for a lot of years. It's such a weird company in terms of what they do. Like, fans will say one thing, they'll pretend that they didn't hear the fans, and they'll just go a different direction. What I think is really cool with The Rock is that it sounds like his goal actually with this is to sort of come into the universe and not, steal it and like make it his own, but like have an influence over it that actually is pro-fan, that actually listens to what the fans want. And one of those things that people have wanted is to see Superman back. That's something people have wanted for a long, long time. And also, I will say, to see a more growing into hopefulness version of Superman, because I truly believe that over the course of his movie arc, he was becoming more of that hopeful Superman, that Superman that represents that and sort of stands up for the little guy and what they need. And I think that it's really a shame that they sidelined that character for so long and didn't continue to develop that. It seems like The Rock really cares about these things, cares about where the universe goes beyond just I'm Black Adam and Black Adam is cool. I think it would have been really easy for him to come into the universe, just be like, I'm The Rock. I don't have anything to prove. I'm The Rock. People love me. I'm going to play Black Adam and rake in the money. But it seems to me like his goal here is to actually provide something that the fans want to see. And this is what I've been wanting to see from this universe. This is what I've been wanting to see from every fictional property forever, right? Yes, you're going to have fans that have like a dumb headcanon or a dumb fan fiction that's not backed up in continuity and has no point, sure. But a lot of the times the fans know these properties as good or better than the rights holders, and they should be listened to. You should gauge their opinions and actually hear what they have to say, because yes, they're not always right, but I would say more times than not, they are, as a group, correct on something and what they want to see. And that's how you sell your product. That's how you get out there. That's how you make money, especially with these things, and actually make the fans happy and want to return for a follow-up movie or show or whatever. I think that's what Peacemaker did really well, was it was kind of James Gunn being like, okay, well, this is what I want to see, but also I think that this would be really fun for everyone, instead of just being like, this is what I want to see, everyone can kiss my middle finger and get out of here. I think that attitude, that follow-up attitude of like, I know what's best, leave, it's been prevalent in fiction in the 21st century for far too long. I'd say especially since 2010, there's been a major shift with creators where they're like, I know what's best for the audience. They can all kiss my ass. And to see The Rock kind of going up against that attitude, pushing back at that and listening to people and hinting at Superman at the same time, it's really cool. I love it. I want to see more of this out of more creatives, because this is the kind of thing I respect. Yes, I know you're the talent up there making stuff. I'm not going to pretend that I, in my office, know what it's like to be in your position. but I do know what it's like to hear people, you know, to have people try and talk to you and to just either have the option to completely ignore them and drown them out and make them irrelevant or not. And I just don't think that that's a position you should put an audience in, because they're an audience because they care about this thing. Don't make them not care. There's just never been a point to that. So thank you. The Rock will never watch this, but literally thank you. Because this is what we need. This is what we need in Hollywood. This is what we need in our government. This is what we need everywhere. Listen to people. Just listen to them. If you disagree with them, that's fine, but at least hear them out, because they have a lot of good ideas. So I'm interested to hear what you think in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on what The Rock said about this? What are your thoughts on Black Adam going into it? Are you hyped? Are you not? I'm excited to see your thoughts, because this really excited me, and I really like this man. You know, he's awesome. He's an inspiration to me in many ways, and this is really cool to see. Also, my wife Jill has sort of started doing more of her own videos over on her Magical Jill account. There's going to be some gaming stuff over there. A lot of it's also doll reviews and toy reviews and other stuff like that. So I hope you'll check that out, or maybe if you have a friend or compatriot or companion that's into that kind of stuff, show them, because she's trying to grow that channel a lot. The link to her channel will be in the description down below. And also, she's been working very, very hard over on her personal store with comic book inspired products. Now, these are comic books that we salvaged from stores that were throwing them out or discounting them and then throwing them out if they didn't sell, like, you know, 20-cent comics and stuff like that they were going to toss. We actually got these. And my wife Jill is an artist, and so what she did was she said, okay, well, these are going to go in a landfill. What's one way that I can create my resin art, but also preserve a piece of this, you know, and transform it and not steal it, you know, like not just take it and make it the focal point of this art, but like transform it and turn it into something new. So she's been working really hard on resin keychains and also coasters and other stuff. And she has a lot of original pieces too that have nothing to do with that, like skulls for Halloween, which are really awesome, gummy bears and other stuff. Don't eat them. Don't eat them. They look good, but don't eat them. They're made of resin. So I hope you'll check this stuff out. We've tried to price it very affordably for everyone. It is handmade. It's not mass produced. So, you know, you have to take that into account, but every purchase goes to help to support the channel, her shop, and everything we do. So we really appreciate you very, very much. Have a fantastic day. If you haven't already, please leave a like and subscribe. And as always, everyone, stay shway.